the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Abusuafoɔ ɛyɛ adeɛ a nsɛm bi agye ntrɛha ɛwɔ Ghana ha ɛfa Attorney General the cancellation of cases at the courts ɛfa ɛyɛ Unibank case no a wa collapse anaa wa cancel case no Dr. Duffour a ɔyɛ former Bank of Ghana governor and also former finance minister a ɔyɛ owner of Unibank. Now this is what we should know. Bright Simon of Imani, Vice President of Imani Africa, actual article bi a me ne wo bɛkɔ mu. Now our title article is say the AG has recovered 10.6% of the Unibank liability, not 60%. Attorney General Ayine say on 22nd July 2025, and what they to just say, a case ya Unibank for Bank of Ghana sika wɔde ama wɔn sɛ wɔn mfa nyɛ adwuma no. Wɔn de wɔn nsa abɔ sika no mu de akɔbue companies, de akɔtotɔ properties ama bank no any capital to operate no a ɛma a yɛ collapse bank no. Gɔfrɛ dame de wɔn kɔgyina court na Attorney General Ayine na ɛbaeɛ no ɔse wɔatwa case no. Ɛno raise a lot of criticisms ama wabɛka sɛ retrieve 60% of the amount na deɛ aka no ɔmbɛtua with a negotiation a ɔne wɔn nyaeɛ. Na ɛna Bright Simon nso abɛkyerɛ sɛ Attorney General 60% na ɔsɛ retrieve no nɔkorɛ biara ɛnnim. Na yɛnkɔ n'article no mu na yɛnkɔhwɛ nsɛm a wɔatwerɛ no mu. Ɔse already wonim sɛ before sɛ Attorney General Ayine ɛbɛyɛ Attorney General no na ɔno na ɔyɛ lawyers for saa case wei Dr. Duffour. Ɔno na ɔyɛ ɔmo lawyer. Na nsɛm no deɛ abusuafoɔ ɛntoa so mu. Ɔse AG has recovered 10.6% of the Unibank liability, not 60%. Not 60%. Ɔse the terms of the settlement, the Unibank actors will need to pay back 60% of the estimated liability has also proven controversial. So today, the Attorney General provided additional details as a government analyst. I am a huge supporter of public disclosures that shed light on government's actions. So I'm happy that I don't need to scurry around trying to find leaks to do my public interest work. I have reviewed the AG's argument very carefully. I've also gone back to my notes on the Unibank affair on balance. I'm deeply dissatisfied with the AG's analysis of the public finance element of the situation. Afei yɛnkɔ. Ɔsɛ Unibank was one of Ghana's largest banks between 2013 and 2016. Its assets grew from just about 825 million to 2.88 billion. Its depositor accounts numbered over 400,000 by July 27, 2017. It won many prestigious local awards. Unfortunately, when World Bank and IMF pushy Ghana say evaluate the liquidity or the quality of bank assets in 2015, and we discover say Unibank assets no ɛnyɛ adeɛ a ɛyɛ intact, and wɔn yɛ sɛ wɔbɛyɛ forensic audit of the bank. Now in 2017, abra ɛyɛ the Bank of Ghana governor ɛkyɛnyi new one no Dr. Edison take over no ɔyɛ n'adwene sɛ ɔbɛ introduce a stricter scrutiny of the banks because banks dodoɔ naa no wɔn capital wɔn de adwuma ɛna wɔn de sika no bi akɔhyehyɛ baabi nti ɔbɛyɛ audit na audit no mu ara na ɔkɔhu sɛ ɛyɛ Unibank and a shortfall of about 5.7 billion are a direct exposure of financial loss to the government. Believe in this a Unibank owners no closer examination of 3.3 billion of this amount, 800 million shall be paid by the Unibank through forfeiture of land properties and 1.2 billion shall be recovered from the Unibank debtors. Nti na ɛsɛ sika no a 5.7 billion a ayera wɔ bank na ɛsɛ yɛhwehwɛ na baabi akɔhyɛ biara de ba. Na ɛno na yɛde ɔmo kɔɔ court ɛna ɔmo kaa sɛ in fact ɔmo wɔ properties a ɔmo value properties no a ɛbɛyɛ equal to 800 million Ghana cedis. Na afei deɛ aka no nkurɔfoɔ nso wɔ hɔ a ɔmo de bank ne ka debtors nti ɔmo bɛgyegye saa sika no nso na ɔmo de ayɛ dɛn abɛtua ka no. So the financial logic of the entire deal is totally misconceived. The suggested amounts are puny and whatever money can be recovered from any debtors was done a while back without making a dent in the liability. I say it is instructive that the two important players are so far quiet. The Bank of Ghana, a major creditor of Unibank, and a receiver who by law is required to safeguard the fiduciary interests of the defunct Unibank, we must hear from them. So now let me explain why the ages analysis is seriously porous. For say, in July 31st, 2018, a day before the license revocation of Unibank, the main shareholders of Unibank actual letter ɛka sɛ nsɛm a ɔde tene de aba nyinaa nokorɛ na ɔmo agye atum na ɔmo betua. And the losses to the country emanating from the Unibank saga no ɛtumi koraa kɔboro ɛyɛ 5.7 billion so. Ɛna ɛyɛ July 31st na letter na ɔmo de baa agye ka no tum no. Now the Bank of Ghana alone was owed 2.8 billion. However, Unibank had offsetting claims amounting to 600 million, bringing the net liability to 2.2 billion. The current settlement does not even cover this amount. By May 2018, KPMG validated assets of Unibank amounted to nearly 9.2 billion. That is to say, 2 billion made up of customer deposits, Bank of Ghana Liquidity Support, and corporate borrowings, among others. Whilst Unibank owners have repeatedly argued that they have also owed a lot of money by the government. Through contractors, their own claims amounted to less than 200 million. Nti aban no kaa sɛ ɔmo ɛsɛ ɔmo tua sika na ɔmo kaa sɛ aban no ankasa koraa de ɔmo ka. Because aban no ama ɔmo de sika bi ama contractors a aban no nyɛ den ɛnrelease ɛma ɔmo. Na out of 9.2 billion of their assets no, yɛ value a car na government no de ɔmo no ɛma na yɛ 200 million. Na ɔsɛ, now here is the key issue. The basic equation of finance is that liability must be offset by shareholder funds and assets, which in the case of banks mean good loans. Thus, if assumed that the government debt DDP notwithstanding is prudent lending and therefore a good asset, we must account for roughly 1.8 billion more of where the Unibank money went. As we know from KPGMC extensive work that nearly 400 million that Unibank loaned to companies belonging to Unibank owners never came back. Of nearly 600 million loaned out to other companies, between half and 75% were deemed unrecoverable by KPMG. As every reader can see, there is a big capital hole, nearly 1.8 billion lakh first. There is the 800 million of deposit by ordinary Ghanaians and companies that went to Unibank, and then 400 million to Bank of Ghana money, plus another 600 million borrowed from various other banks and lenders. Now, the government settlement of 80 million in cash and 120 million in as yet undisclosed properties, even using a Bank of Ghana exchange rate, is thus nowhere near accounting for the liability. It is important to remember that the government assumed most of that liability first by way of covering for the deposit through the setup of CBG Bank, a state-owned bank, and second, by way of Bank of Ghana absorbing the losses in its liquidity support. So far, the country has not been told whether the debt accumulated by Unibank have been cleared or not, but those debts are losses too. Abusuafoɔ, wotoa so on and on. Ɔsɛ this far, if we use market exchange rate, the government has recovered 160 million of a liability that may be well exceed 1.5 million. The receiver and Bank of Ghana should update the nation. That is barely 10.6% of the total losses. 10.6% of the total losses to Ghana's welfare. Even the 160 million is suspect because from the agency's explanations, they are likely to be debt owed to contractors by the same government. It is important to re-emphasize that the deal cut by the government is only 21% of what Unibank owners themselves admitted was their liability to the bank on July 31st, 2025. In any serious country, the press conference of Regi today will be the beginning and not the end of the national debate about how Ghana tackles national financial losses involving the rich and the powerful in the society. The question is Ghana a serious country or a catastrophic society? Judge for yourself. Abusuafo, wei ne nsɛm a Bryce Simon nso de abɛto dwa a ɔse saa nsɛm no a Attorney General de nenam nokorɛ biara nim. Ɔse ɔmo nsa aka 60%. Ɔse nokorɛ biara nim na 10.6% mmom na ɔmo nsa aka. Abusuafoɔ, nea ɛrekɔ so no, Ghana ha nea ɛrekɔ so no, nsɛm rekɔ so paa na ɔmo de asie Ghanafoɔ a ɔmo nka nkyerɛ. NDC promise yɛ sɛ ɔmo bɛ recover all the loot. Meanwhile, cases a ɛwɔ hɔ a ɔmo baeɛ sɛ ɔmo recover no, they are rather discharging them. Ɔmo firi ɔmo sɛ ɔmo nkɔ na ɔmo kɔ spend sika no. All because sɛ ɔmo yɛ NDC foɔ. Nsɛm no ayɛ henyɛɛ.